I got chills, they're multiplying, and I'm blue. You're the one that I want, the one that I want.
Hey, watch where you're going, buddy.
What?
I said watch where you're going, buddy.
I'm not your buddy, pal.
I'm not your pal, friend.
Oh no, hand-to-hand combat with a hardened ruffian. God, at least I don't feel it when I'm grappling. Oh. How you doing, guys? My name is Zach Collins. Welcome to Just Okay BJJ. My thought process in making this channel is not to show high-level competitive movements because I'm not a high-level competitive guy. I'm a hobbyist level purple belt. I've been training for 6 years, and I want to go over the very base foundations that brought my game from being excessively mediocre to just okay. So for my first video, I want to talk about framing. I bring that up because I spent a lot of time as an early level white belt into blue belt thinking that this would keep me safe, keeping distance away from my opponent myself. I would get arm barred, I would get triangled, or they'd push my arms aside and collapse on top of me. I see that a lot with newer level guys. They feel that distance is safe. One of the questions I ask them all the time, have you ever been in a street fight? If they say yes, I ask them where they held their hands, and they always show me right here. So I ask them, if you get in a fight on your feet, why do you keep your hands here? But when you get in a fight on the floor, your hands immediately come outside. In jiu-jitsu, the dirty truth is we are learning to fight, but we're fighting from the floor. So what's the purpose of a frame? The way that I view it, the purpose of a frame is to create and maintain space between myself and my opponent. That's going to keep their weight off me and inhibit their ability to progress further. It's also going to allow me the opportunity to set up sweeps and possible submissions based on where we're at. Now, I want to do that by A, no matter what position I'm in, controlling their posture. And B, I want to utilize the skeletal structure of my body versus the muscular system of my body. I'm sure we all have someone in our gym whose favorite escape, no matter what position they're in, is the bench press. Unfortunately for me, after decades of bad genetics, I'm built like a lemur, and I have a better chance of getting out using my charm than my 1-rep max. A little test that you can try at home for this is to hold yourself in a push-up position, drop halfway down, and see how long you can hold it. Go as long as you can, give your body a minute or two to recover, and then do the same thing, but get on your forearms and your knees. I'm willing to bet you'll be able to hold this a lot longer. But we've talked enough, let's put it into practice. So something we haven't discussed yet is that jiu-jitsu isn't real and you don't need to learn how to frame. You could always just stand up. Shit, okay, he's the strongest man alive. So sometimes you do need to know how to frame. As we discussed, we want to use our skeletal structure, not our muscle system. I also want to make sure I'm using the long bones of my forearms and my shins as opposed to my hand, because if he pressures it on my hand, it's going to push my wrist back. My joint won't offer as much stability. So I want to use all of my long bones. It's an important thing to remember is that your body mechanics are very strong at pushing away from your core and not across your core. So when I'm framing up on my partner, I want to try to turn my body to where my shoulders are in line with his shoulders, which will allow me to push away from him. While doing that, as we discussed earlier, I want to control my opponent's posture by rolling my elbow from one shoulder to the opposite shoulder to break the angle of his spine and make him look away from me. In this, I can get tight, as my professor says, inside your diving bell and try to establish a knee and elbow connection to make a proper frame against my partner. So when we're starting to establish our frames, we want to go through, we'll call it the hierarchy of framing. I once had someone ask me, what's the most important frame to get when someone's on top of you? And my answer was, whatever one you can. So if my opponent has me completely flattened out, both my arms are outside, if all I can get is my foot on my leg and turn my knee into his hip, at that point in time, that's the most important frame I can get. You can then use whatever frame you have to start establishing more frames. I can use that knee, drive it into his hip, pop his hip open to drop my elbow inside. From there, I can push my knee and elbow out to move his head up a little bit, bring my hand in. The most important things about frames is that they're not a static position. I have to be able to feel where my opponent's weight is, feel my opponent's movement, and adapt my frames accordingly. So as my partner starts to try to move and pass me, I'm constantly feeling where he's going, pushing off of him, and if he's pushing into me, I'm replying in kind. So like I said, guys, this is gonna be a very fundamental based channel. I hope you got something from it. Like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, if you can't be great, be just okay.